Welcome to TinselTown Talkies. It is Thursday, 6:30. Wow, this week is flying. And whoa, now that is a picture of the man of the year. We're going to talk about him, but that is definitely not my co-host.
Hi.
Welcome back to Earth, Parimal. Pimo.
I am not of this planet.
You are listening to TinselTown Talkies on the Rant Radio Network. And right off the bat, I want to tell everyone, our number to call in today is 855-969-7268. That's 855-969-RANT. We want to hear from you. So call us in, give us your thoughts. Today is a very important day in Hollywood.
Yes,
It was an
yes,
important day
yes.
starting very early in the wee hours of the morning.
I don't get why they do that.
Yeah, I never understood that either.
I mean, so for those of you who aren't savvy to what we're talking about, Golden Globe noms came out this morning, and they do it
That's
at
right.
5:30 a.m.
Yeah, who is up at that time, and why do they do it that early? Is it for
You,
the
you
East
know,
Coasters?
which I don't get because it's a West Coast thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, in sports, we always talk about East Coast bias. This is a chance to have a West Coast bias, but what can you do? But you know who was one of the co-hosts today?
For the announcement,
Mm-hmm.
Aziz Ansari.
Yes.
Yes. So it was Zoe Saldana.
Mhm.
Saldana.
Saldana.
Always mess up our name. Olivia Wilde.
Wild.
And Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, so we had one of our brothers representing.
If that's what you call it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm calling it. So let's talk about these Golden Globes.
Golden Globes. Well, I'm going to tell you, this is my favorite time of the year. I mean, once we start getting into November, December, you start, applying for the credentials and all the hooplas going on around town about films, and everyone's getting ready already for like their dresses and the parties and what
And
they're
everybody's
wear.
having parties.
Yeah, everyone's having too many parties.
We just went to one.
I know, we did. It was
Yes.
quite exciting at Nirvana.
Yeah,
in
we'll talk
Beverly
more
Hills.
about that at the
Okay.
end of our show. Yeah.
You
But
got it. So Golden Globes nominations for Best Drama Motion Picture. Okay, this is one that was expected. 12 Years a Slave.
Yes, and we got our man right here.
That's right.
Yes.
And Captain Phillips. Gravity, another one that I think that was expecting a nomination. Philomena. Now I haven't
That's
seen
with-
that
that's
one.
with Judi Dench.
That's with Judi Dench.
Yes.
That's right. And she's one of the favorites of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. I hear. And this film did really well with them. And then Rush, which is the racing film by Ron Howard.
Now, what's interesting, are any of these films original stories? Is 12 Years a Slave based on anything?
I don't. Well, on slavery.
No, but it's actually based on like Rush
an
was based.
actual
Yeah,
story?
like Rush is based on a racing story.
Captain
Philo-
Phillips is, but I don't know if Gravity is.
Gravity may be the only original story in the whole list.
Huh.
Ironically, it's the shortest film of them all.
Right. You're so right.
But 12 Years a Slave, I have a hard time thinking that film won't do well. Meaning, I think it'll win quite a bit.
Oh yeah, it's 12 Years a Slave that's got 7 nominations.
It got the most nominations.
With
It also,
American Hustle.
American Hustle, yes.
Yep.
But
They both received 7 nominations, I understand.
it's cold.
It is cold.
My chest is not happy.
And I had a cough, and I think I gave it to Pimo. Sorry.
I'm gonna blame you for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But 12 Years a
Take
Slave.
vitamin C.
Yes, 12 Years a Slave. We'll talk more about this, I guess, in the next segment, but it did very well last weekend as well. I don't know how much of an indicator the Critics Awards are for these ones, but if it is, I could very well see 12 Years a Slave just dominating the
I'm
award
going
season.
to cut you off right now and bring up an interesting point. So I was, doing some research and found out actually that the Golden Globes, they're put on by obviously we know the Hollywood
Press.
Foreign Press Association, which basically, excuse me, means that the film critics sent to Hollywood by foreign newspapers. So they present the awards for excellence in cinema and television. But usually the SAG Awards, it seems like, are more foretelling of what may happen at the Oscars. So at the Golden Globes, you really can't judge what happens at the Globes is going to kind of be a foreseer of what will happen at the Oscars because you just don't know.
Well, because it's a completely different demographic that's judging the awards.
Right.
I mean, I get the SAGs are also unique in the sense that we talked about this off the air, how it's an actor-specific award show.
Right. So you don't ever see a Best Director or
right,
Best Art Director
right.
award.
So it's kind of interesting how the dynamic works between you have award show that is actor specific yet could still be a predictor of how well a film may do at the Oscars.
Right. But, I mean, going back to your point, I think 12 Years a Slave has just been racking up all these accolades throughout the year that it almost seems that it definitely is going to do well at the Oscars.
And I think a lot remains to be seen in terms of how the film does between now and January. I mean, we have 4 or 5 weeks where now these films will probably be having decent runs at movie theaters. And I wonder how much now box office will factor into how well these films are received.
Absolutely. Well, I think once the nominations are announced, people are also a little curious who haven't seen the films, like what was so good about it. So I think
Right.
it's definitely going to help bring in those numbers.
Well, and the one thing, at least from the Oscar front, I mean, I can't really say this much about the Golden Globes or the SAGs, but at least for the Oscars, they love a heartwarming, emotional story.
Yes.
That's what
Well,
they
okay,
like.
and so I want to talk about something since you bring that up. So in the Best Musical and Comedy nominations, you've got American Hustle, Her, Inside Llewyn Davis, Nebraska, and The Wolf of Wall Street.
Right.
Now, if you think about all these films, they're not really heavy hit comedies and musicals.
No, they're
I
not.
mean, there's some drama aspect to them. So it's really interesting on how the studios decide what film they're going to pitch where.
Right. And it's interesting to see American Hustle and The Wolf of Wall Street because both those films are essentially the same type of story.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much going to cancel each other out. I could very well see this race being between Her and Nebraska.
Really?
Yeah. Nebraska's been getting some good reviews. It's been
That's
getting
what
a lot.
Leonardo
yeah.
DiCaprio?
No, The Wolf of excuse me, The Wolf of Wall Street is with Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, I'm sorry, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes.
You're right.
Nebraska may actually it's been getting a lot of attention. Her had done well.
No,
with-
my dear, Nebraska is with Leonardo.
Leo's also an wolf.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
But okay, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to correct you
Yes.
that.
Okay.
It's
Thank
also
you.
Nebraska.
But Nebraska's been getting a lot of attention. So that's interesting how Wolf has something in common with American Hustle and something in common with Nebraska. And I wonder if that will kind of separate the vote.
I
At
mean,
least
I
for
think
that
that'd be
film.
interesting to see.
Yeah. Which now makes me think Her might get it. I'm going to go out there and say Her's going to win. So far my predictions are 12 Years a Slave and Her.
Okay,
Those are my two best films.
let's see.
Those
how
are
that
those are my
does.
picks. Yeah. I don't know what you're
how it
thinking so
does.
far, but that's what I'm thinking so far.
I definitely think 12 Years a Slave is up in the running.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little torn on the musical comedy.
Okay.
Yeah. So
What do
I
you,
gotta think
now
that
now
one's
let's
the
talk
top.
about the best actor in a drama series.
Oh, I
a
know.
drama
Look
film.
at this.
This is an amazing lineup.
You've got Idris Elba playing Mandela in Mandela: Long Walk to Freedom. Chedawal, I always mess up his name. Chiwetel
Ejiofor.
Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hanks, Captain Phillips. Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club, which is interesting because it was not nominated for Best Film.
Right.
But you got Best Actor, and then you've got Robert Redford for All Is Lost.
And it actually makes sense that Dallas Buyers Club was not nominated because the film itself was good, but not best film worthy. But Matthew's performance may have been his best ever.
Okay.
Like it's considered
I haven't
probably
seen that film yet.
it's
so-
considered probably the greatest single performance he's ever made. It could be a career changer for him.
Wow.
I wouldn't call it to the level of how Denzel was, excuse me, in his films, but this could very well be a game changer for Matthew. So I'm not
It's
sure
a
he'll
great
win.
category.
It's a great
though.
category.
I mean, look at the talent that's up in here.
Mm-hmm. And then it's gonna come down to me between Idris and between Chiwetel.
Chiwetel, I agree with you.
I think those will be the top two.
I mean, I do think Tom Hanks did an amazing job in Captain Phillips as well.
Yeah.
But I think the other ones are the top two.
If I have to
contenders.
handicap it, I'd say it's a toss up between Ejiofor and Elba, and the others have probably like a 1 in 10 chance after that.
Right.
But
But you know a category that's really exciting
which
for me at least was the Best Actress in a Drama.
Akinarte was going to win that one.
Oh
but
my
go ahead.
gosh, you got Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, excuse me. You've got Sandra Bullock, of course, Gravity.
Mm-hmm.
That was we predicted that. Judy Dench for Philomena, Emma Thompson, Saving Mr. Banks, and Kate Winslet for Labor Day. I mean, what a category!
It's an amazing category.
lineup.
And if
All very talented and strong actresses.
and I'll explain this in greater detail in the next segment, but I'm predicting Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine. Blue Jasmine as a film has been getting great reviews ever since it came out. I know it's a very early release. It came out in the summer. So it's very rare to see a summer film do well. Because usually when you want to make an award run, you release the film now. You know,
Right.
it's September, November, October, November, right?
This was released earlier.
Yeah, so this is released earlier. So the fact that it's still in the running shows the film's longevity. I do believe Kate's going to win this one, despite the great talent. I mean, Judi Dench was amazing playing a lady who was dying in Philomena. Sandra Bullock. She was the
She
star
did
of
a
the movie.
fantastic job
She was
in
the star of the
Gravity.
movie, and Kate Winslet is always in a rocket. Emma Thompson is always in a rocket. Those two
There's
are
some
all
tough competition
It's tough.
here.
It's very tough competition. But I'm gonna call it now. Kate Blanchett's gonna win.
Kate Blanchett. Okay.
Yes.
We'll have to wait and see for
Yes.
that.
Mhm.
Some other fun categories in television.
Oh yeah. Well,
Best actor in a TV comedy, Jason Bateman for Arrested
I hope he wins that one.
Development.
I
Again,
hope
the
he
show
wins that
didn't get
one.
nominated, but he's done a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
Don Cheadle for House of Lies, Michael J. Fox of The Michael J. Fox Show. Of course, we knew that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Parsons of Big Bang Theory, also another one that we expected to happen. And Andy Samberg of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I have mixed feelings about Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I haven't been able to get into that show.
Well, and I think that's the thing is like when I think it's one of those. It's really a show of taste. You either are gonna really be drawn to it or you're not gonna like it at all.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. And I think Andy Samberg has that kind of talent as well. He has an appeal to a very certain audience, and I think this show is very well catered to him. So it's kind of fitting to see him in this category. I could see Jim Parsons walking away with this just because of his pop culture impact.
Yes. He's
So
huge.
I mean, I'm rooting for Jason Bateman, but I could see this going to Jim Parsons.
Possibly Jim Parsons.
Yeah.
Well, then you've got the Best Actor in TV Drama. I know this is your favorite category because
Oh,
your
yes.
very own
Yes.
Bryan Cranston,
Yes.
nominated for Breaking Bad, Liev Schreiber for Ray Donovan, Michael Sheen for Masters of Sex, Kevin Spacey for House of Cards, and James Spader, The Blacklist. Again, a very fine list of actors.
Yeah.
up
So
here. I still think this one, I don't know. For me, I think it's going to be Brian,
it's gonna be between Brian and Kevin, I think.
just because of the history of the show.
Yeah. So I think Brian's I think is in the lead, but Kevin could be the dark horse.
You just don't know. You don't know what happens at the end.
No,
afterwards, right?
no,
And they are
exactly.
happening January 12th of
Yes.
2014, so they're
So,
coming
yes.
up right around the corner.
But we're not done yet talking about this, are we?
No,
we have
no,
a lot more to talk about
not
awards.
at all.
We're just
talk
getting started.
more about this when we come back.
Yes.
You are listening to Tinseltown Talkies on Rant Radio Network.
That's Rasha.
That's BMO.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home. At AGR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AGR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.agrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español.
Are you watching the game at home? Why? Come watch it at Mambo Grill, the hottest spot in Downey. You'll have good food, drinks, and a great time at a low price. We have the coldest beer in our sports bar, where you can enjoy the game on any of our huge flat screen TVs. And when your home team wins, you get 25% off anything in Mambo Grill. We're on Downey Avenue, 1 block north of Firestone, or visit us on the web. Mambo Grill, love at first bite.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra modern, ultra clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. Free quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
And happy Thursday. Welcome back. It's a cold winter in Los Angeles, and I say that lightly. Welcome back to
It's very cold.
Yeah.
And I'm sporting a tank top. This is
yes.
awesome.
I'm sporting a trench coat today.
I know. Look at this. Craziness.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
that's why I have a cough.
Yes, welcome back to TinselTown Talkies here on the Rant Radio Network in the shadows of Hollywood.
That's right. And we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the nominations that came out? Do call us at 1-855-969-7268 and tell us, do you agree with some of the nominations or do you disagree? Because there were a couple of snubs.
Yes, and before we get into those snubs, if you are too shy to call us, you could always tweet us. You can always Facebook us. Our Twitter is our tweeter.
Our Twitter handle
Yes.
is TinselTown Talk.
And then you can also find us on Facebook, TinselTown Talkies. Like
Yep.
us. And if you are too shy to talk to us on the phone and on the air,
Just send us your question.
and we will read it out loud here.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll go from there. So let's get back into what we were talking about before the break. We're still talking about awards. We had a great discussion about the Golden Globes.
Right. Well, now there's a lot of awards that happen in town,
There's
right?
a lot
But I think
of-
the biggest ones that people are most familiar with are the Screen Actors Guild, of course, the Emmys. Then we have the Golden Globes, and then that all leads up to the wonderful Academy
Oscars,
Awards,
yes,
the
yes.
Oscars.
Now, very briefly, last weekend they had the Film Critics Awards that were announced. It wasn't an actual ceremony yet.
Yes.
They were just
I read about
announced.
that.
And films like Gravity did well, Sandra Bullock did well, 12 Years a Slave did well, Her did
Expected.
well. Very well expected. The one film that actually did well internationally, and they had an award show on the other side of the planet, was Manila something. It was a film in the Philippines, and that film won Best Picture.
Okay, get
And
the
I
name.
you gotta get the name. It was Manila something. That's all I'm gonna
That's
say.
such a disservice.
I'm sorry. I had it in my mind when I got on the show. Sorry. Let's get back to SAGs.
Just look it up.
Let's get back to SAGs.
All right. Well, so the SAG nominations also came out.
And there wasn't a lot of there's some overlap, but naturally, when you have two different entities giving out awards, you're not going to have the exact lineup of same 5 or 10 nominations. One person who kind of stood out. Let's go over the male actors in the leading role. Was Bruce Dern, who was the leading actor in Nebraska, of course, Chiwetel in 12 Years a Slave, Tom Hanks, Matthew McConaughey, and Forrest Whitaker for Lee Daniels, the butler. Of course, Forrest Whitaker, we did not see his name on the Golden Globes
No, we did not.
nominations.
It's like he got a snub this year. What's interesting is that the distributor, Harvey Weinstein, has such a great rapport with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and a great track record with them. So it's interesting that this historical film, Lee Daniels, The Butler, it really was shut out of the nominations. In fact, it did not get Best Picture. It did not get Best Actor Drama for Forrest Whitaker, and Best Supporting Actress for Oprah Winfrey.
So it got snubbed all across the board. And you wonder about the politics behind it. Like you'd mentioned, the Weinstein Company is a very well received. I mean, it's one of the better production houses in Hollywood, or distributors in Hollywood. And you would think if 12 Years a Slave is going to get the attention it's getting, you would think The Butler would at least be right on its tails, because they're both civil rights related issues. They both tell the African American.
That's an interesting question, though. But do you think that they were almost leaning towards, well, we have to pick one or the other then because of the civil rights issue, and they didn't want to have an overlap of two films that kind of
Because
have
that's always the biggest
concept?
thing. Whenever you talk to Hollywood insiders about awards, it's always when you have two films of similar or equal topics, you're almost splitting the vote, right? And so in this case, while I think Chiwetel will get the Golden Globe for Best Actor, I'm no longer 100% sure who'll win the SAG for, because now he's got the people who who might have voted fully for Chiwetel now might split and vote. Some might vote for
Well, and
Forrest.
I'm going to just share a little piece of interesting details here is that this film, Lee Daniels, The Butler, actually cleaned up the SAG Awards because it received nominations for Best Ensemble, Best Actor for Whitaker, Best Supporting Actress for Oprah Winfrey. And so it's really interesting that we don't even see it anywhere in the Golden Globes.
And it's very intriguing. I wish I could sit here and give even an opinion of why that is. I don't want to say that I really don't believe this is a case of picking sides. I don't want to sit here and say that, oh yeah, one camp believes The Butler is a true African American story, and one thinks the others. It'd be unfair to say that by any account. So yeah, I wish I could explain that. I wish I could explain it. And even this article, which came on I think the Daily Beast. Yeah, it came on the Daily. This article on snubs came on the Daily Beast, and he even said Oprah's snub is by far the most puzzling of all.
Right. Because she did a fantastic
yeah,
job.
and so it just makes you scratch your head, like, we want to put a rhyme and reason to why all these awards are there, and then you have this happen where, really, how do you logically explain Butler on one side and 12 Years a Slave on the other side? I wish I could explain it.
Well, and that's not the only snub. If you're looking at the film The Wolf of Wall Street, again, snubbed in a lot of categories, it was snubbed from Best Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor, what else? Best Director.
Yeah, and this is a Scorsese film.
Yep.
When do you see Scorsese being snubbed on this kind of,
Well, Leonardo DiCaprio took it for the Best Actor. At least he received a nomination for there.
And sadly, it's sad to say this was a snub considering the context of what happened the past week. Idris Elba also being snubbed for his role playing Mandela, and of course this was a
Idris did get a nomination.
Oh, he did. Surprise! It's
did.
a surprise. I stand
did get a
corrected. I am
nomination.
reading. I read snub. I read that. Okay. So yes.
So Idris was a surprise, actually.
Yes. Another surprise, and I saw Rush, and I have mixed feelings about that film.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you expect it to be on the Golden Globe list?
I didn't expect it at all, and I'll tell you why.
I wasn't expecting it. That was a complete surprise to me.
Well, the only place I could have seen it have any value on an award setting, cinematography.
Okay.
If you watch some of the race scenes, in fact, all the race scenes in that film, there's one scene towards the final race, and you see the race car at the start line, and it's in the rain. It starts to rev up the car, and you see the water just flying.
Beautifully shot.
Cinematography in that film is amazing. That's the only real value I could see in that film having any kind of award, because, and this was the biggest critic of the film, was in between the race scenes, the film was kind of flat. And so for me to see that as a best film nomination, I would have. Why not put, The Butler instead of Rush? Right.
You're right.
And so I do question Rush's placement as a best film, but I'm sure these guys have their reasons.
Well, so
What's another snub? Any other snubs or?
Oh, we've got snubs in television, actually.
All right, sure.
So,
sure.
no Homeland or Mad Men, and they were last year's 3 biggest drama winners. Homeland for series, Claire Danes for actress. Claire Danes isn't seen anywhere on
And
on this list.
Claire Danes
And Damian
actually
Lewis.
won.
Yes.
Claire Danes won last year. And again, it's a and I want to bring that up because I was going to talk about on the similar note, the Newsroom.
Yes.
And last year it was kind of a bit of a surprise that who won it? Who won last year? Right? They had Mr. Daniels.
Yes. Jeff Daniels.
He had won for Best Actor, which was a bit of a surprise. I think people expected Kevin Spacey, maybe Mr. Walt White.
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. So here we have Jeff Daniels again, nominated again this year, but we're having Claire Danes missing. It's kind of weird to see one Best Actor nominee back, but then the Best Actress nominee not back.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's
weird.
true.
It's weird to me.
Well, Jeff Daniels is not in for the Golden Globe.
But he's still for SAG. He's still for SAG,
for
right?
SAG.
But you think if you won last year, the show is still around, irrespective of the show. You'd still at least
Like
get a
some
nomination.
kind of commendation for
something.
it.
Yeah,
Right,
you
right.
wouldn't be snubbed. You wouldn't expect to be snubbed in any of the shows if you won a year prior.
Right.
That's just my 2 cents.
I think another one was the Globes nominated Smash for Best Comedy for Musical, and they snubbed Parks and Recreation. But Parks and Rec has had a tough year anyways, right?
It's had its run. It's had its run.
Is that why Aziz was there announcing? I wonder how they got him.
Wow. I gotta admit, it's pretty cool to see.
He's got to be the first South Asian person I've ever seen announced at the Golden Globes.
Yeah. It's pretty significant, and it follows up. I mean, it was great to see. What was it, 4 years ago, when at the Emmys, Archie Punjabi won for Best Supporting Actress. So we're slowly permeating.
We had a Bollywood star too. Shah Rukh Khan is also announced at the Golden Globes
also announced.
before.
So, and that was during the Slumdog Millionaire run.
Yes,
which I think was the year after. So, quick question: do you happen to know the difference between Golden Globes and Academies and Screen Actor Guild Awards?
They're all the same, dude. They're all award shows. Of course, there's a difference.
Okay, so
the Golden Globes are run by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, and what's interesting there is that they actually have the categories of best movie, drama, best film, comedy, which is great. Best movie, best film. And that's also for awards are for excellence in motion picture, which all three of them do. Now, the Academy Awards, which are the Oscars, are presented by the Academy of Motion Pictures of Arts and Sciences. Now, what's interesting is they give out awards only for excellence in cinema.
Right.
So what does that mean? It's divided into 5 branches, just actors, writers, directors, producers, and technicians.
Right.
If you notice, there is no division between best motion picture of drama and comedy. It's just
It's
best motion,
period.
best picture across the board. Then you've got the SAG, which is presented by the Screen Actors Guild, and they present the awards in cinema and television, but it's really primarily for actors. So you won't see, again, the best director or best art director award there.
Right. Let's switch gears to the opposite end of the spectrum. This is purely opinion. Whatever opinion you have, let's finish with this at the same
All right,
time.
you got a minute left to get my opinion.
Razzies. Do you have any films you would personally nominate for a Razzie? Worst film of the year. Pick one you would nominate.
Oh, I got to share that with you when I come back. Man, there's quite a few on that.
There's no. Let's just if you could come with one before the break. Name one. Come on.
Nope. You're
Nope.
going to get to hear my opinion after
Well, I'll tell you
this
mine.
break.
I'll tell you mine right now. Just Die Hard.
What? You're supposed to save it for after the break. And listeners, we want you to call in. So do share your thoughts with us on 1-855-969-RANT. Remember, you are listening to Tinseltown Talkies on the Rant Radio Network.
And who are we talking to next?
Oh, that's right. One of my favorites, Ayushmann Khurrana, a little hottie but cutie in Bollywood. Recently had the opportunity to work with him as well. Fantastic.
So I
young
got a chance. I
actor.
got a chance to listen into your chat with him. So good job talking to him.
Yeah, it was a
Good
fun
job.
interview. He's
Yeah.
such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And find out if the star Vicky Donor has really donated sperm or not. Because I've heard some mixed rumors. All when we come back
All right.
on the Rant Radio Network.
See you in a bit.
Do we have your attention? When it comes to tequila, 2 things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number 1 Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number 1. There's only number 1. There's only number 1.
What's wrong?
I can't stop craving a cigarette. I just quit. Hey, what are you smoking on?
Oh, this? Best e-juice on the planet. Burst of flavor, of course.
What's that?
Only the best alternative to smoking with a great flavor. It has a burst of flavor in every puff.
Well, does it have nicotine?
It comes in different levels, including 0. They have 20 flavors and more coming. All the products are made in the U.S. Check them out at www.burstoflavor.com or call them at 855-WE-BURST.
Hey, let's burst together.
It's not just flavor, it's an experience. Cigarettes, you've met your match.
Add some crazy flavor to your vape pen. You're looking for something new and exciting in liquid vapor? Go to Crazy Cloud's e-juice. Find them at burstoflavor.com and try any of the new 12 flavors they have available: blueberry, mint, raspberry, chocolate, gummy bear, hemp, watermelon, cola, orange, pina colada, coconut, or Red Bully. Call us today at 855-WE-BURST or visit us at burstoflavor.com and order yours today.
Number one. Number one.
Is that a stutter or as high as you can count?
I was ordering number one tequila.
Everybody's asking for number one.
Great, another fancy bottle.
These guys are true artists. Never compromise integrity. They make tequila
Come
the
on.
old-fashioned way. Never mass-produced.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying have the number one. Anything less is number two. Number one, tequila.
Hey everyone, welcome back to TinselTown Talkies. I all of a sudden got this splurge of energy. So before we left, we were talking about the Razzie Awards. The nominations haven't been out yet, but people are already putting dibs on some of the films. And you wanted to know what my selection was?
Yes.
Scary Movie 5.
I'm so sorry for that film.
I am so over the scary movies. I mean, okay, I'm glad it's keeping some actors employed, but we're done. We're done.
So, well, I'd mentioned that Die Hard 5 was my Razzie.
Look at us. We both picked number 5s.
Yeah.
said number
I'm going to
5s.
pick a couple more.
But I didn't ask you for more.
I'm going to tell you more, like it or not. R.I.P.D. Dead on Arrival. Totally dead.
Oh my
R.I.P.D.
God,
was totally dead on
yes.
arrival.
Yes.
And then I'd have to say Hangover Part 3.
Hangover Part 3. Oh, really?
Because nobody
That
was
wasn't too bad.
hungover.
And people, I'm going to cut you off real quick because I do have a viewer a viewer that's asking for our numbers again. It is 1-855-969-7268. 1-855-969-RANT.
And yes, I am taking requests for dates.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Awkward.
I'm just kidding.
Yes, actually call in so I can screen everybody for him. And I can help save you.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm perfectly fine on my own.
But yeah, a lot of interesting Razzie nominations
Yes.
up there.
Well, we'll find out what the real ones are. I mean, we were just talking about our little opinions here, but
Yeah.
we'll find out how the real ones come out.
See,
when,
award season is so much fun, right?
It is.
You know, I have to shift gears and tell you, award season starts for Bollywood too, so we'll cover that eventually as well. It gets really busy there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bollywood, about a month ago, there was a Bollywood star that came out here to shoot something. His name is Ayushmann Khurrana. Adorable. A lot of you have seen him and know him from Vicky Donor, the way people pronounce it. He's also popular for the song Pani Da. Great voice, just very tantalizing. And we were able to catch up with him in a quick interview during his shoot.
Yes.
So if you hear a lot of exterior noise, it's because we were actually on set and trying to grab this interview with him.
Kudos for getting the interview, though.
Yes. Oh,
Great.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
kudos
you
for
very
getting
much.
it.
Well, he was great to talk to. So we are going to play that interview for you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ayushmann Khurrana,
Enjoy.
known from MTV Roadies. Welcome. It's so exciting to have you here. How has your stay been so far?
Thank you so much. Stay has been really good, but really, really hectic. I've been shooting 24/7, so had no time to visit outside.
Oh, that's no fun. Well, there's so much to talk to you about. I mean, you're singing, you're acting. You have come up with Vicky Donor and Pani Da Rang, just huge hits right off the back in your career. First of all, how has that experience been for you?
Tremendous. In fact, I'm a realist in life, and I don't expect much from life. I think whatever life is giving me, it's completely incredible, and I'm completely overwhelmed. And I think it's only because of my parents' blessings and love of my family and friends.
Is the entertainment field, the entertainment industry, something that you've always wanted to do?
Always. I think I was born to entertain. I was born to perform. Did theater, radio, television, and the best part is it all happened slowly. It was not. Maybe it was not. I never believed it was an overnight success for me.
I mean, a lot of people here, especially in the U.S., know you starting from MTV Roadies.
Yeah, I'm fortunate that did not happen overnight. I think I have a stable head on my shoulders because I've seen life. I was in Chandigarh, then Delhi, then Bombay. From theater to radio to television and finally films. And I think if the progression is gradual, then I think you're a little stable in life, and that's what has happened to me.
Well, I'm very intrigued by the fact that you sing, you compose, you act, you dance. Would you say, did the singing come to you first, or did the acting come to you first, or was it simultaneous?
Definitely acting. For me, acting is easier than singing because I think singing and dancing is more technical. Acting is more subjective. It's more instinctive, and there's nothing right or wrong in acting. Of course, there are like few notes in singing. There's a lot of rights and wrongs in singing and dancing, but there's nothing right and wrong in acting. So I think acting comes naturally to me, and singing is more difficult for sure.
Why Vicky Donor? I mean, when you first got that script, it's a little different. You know, it's not the typical Bollywood script. It hits a topic that's, I don't want to say taboo, but it's a little different than what we're normally used to seeing. So what was that like for you? I mean, were you nervous taking that script and that being your first movie?
In fact, Vicky Donor just happened to me by chance. I did not audition for the film. The first time when Sujit Sarkar narrated me the script, he was like, "You're playing this sperm donor," and I was quite shocked and surprised. I was like, "Sir, do I look like a sperm donor? Why me? Am I the only one you're looking for?" And it's like, "No, I want somebody who looks sweet and doesn't look cheap or vulgar when he's donating sperm." Okay, that's amazing. And apart from that, I've donated sperm for real in Allahabad in 2000.
Really?
Yes, in 2004 in Allahabad. And
so you have some kitties roaming around?
Yes. And that was part of my task in MTV Roadies. And when I read the script, I realized that it was a great combination of, it was based on a subject, though it was a taboo subject in our country, but it was not preachy at all. It was light-hearted. It was not cheap, and I always thought it would be a great film.
How exciting! Singing, obviously, Pani Da Rang De has been a huge hit, a very successful song. Now, you wrote that many years ago, right?
Yeah.
Wow, and then you just released your single. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's called Ohiriye. It's released by Yash Raj Films, and it's an extension of Pani Da Rang and Sadi Gali, the alternate soft rock. Mostly Punjabi songs are high tempo, upbeat songs, but this one is again a soft alternate Punjabi rock, which we hardly hear these days.
Right.
And Ohiriye is more contemporary, and it's on a living relationship, and it's a happy song. I think Sadi Gali and Pani Da Rang, they have a lot of pathos behind the lyrics. It's about heartbreak, but Ohiriye is a happy song, and Ohiriye is a fresh song out of our stable. Like Rochak, my friend, my childhood buddy, we wrote this song again together. So this is the fresh song from our stable. And Sadi Gali and Pani Da were like high school composition and college composition.
Wow. Did you have a heartbreak at that time? Is that when those were written?
Never. I married my childhood sweetheart.
Ah!
Yeah, so I've never experienced heartbreak.
Wow, lucky you.
Yes. So
You're very fortunate. But you're probably breaking a lot of hearts right now.
I've done that in school as well. Yeah.
It's the dimples.
I don't know. But yeah.
Am I making you blush?
I am blushing. You can't see it in radio, but yes.
Being a musician, singer, do you think that the rock genre is growing in India? Is it becoming more popular? Because it's been a tough genre, but there's something really cool about hearing Indian rock, I think.
Yeah. Definitely. I think rock genre is growing in India for sure. In 90s, we'd seen a lot of harmonium and tabla and dholak were extensively used. But now I think we are venturing into or maybe experimenting with our music and going more towards world music. And we are getting a lot of contemporary sounds. Even in Ohiriye, we use a lot of European drum beats. So yeah, I think Indian music is growing a lot.
Are there any actors, Hollywood or Bollywood, that you admire or that inspire you?
Everybody admires Amitabh Bachchan in Bollywood, and of course I also admire him a lot. I think he's like Sachin Tendulkar of Indian cinema. He's way above his contemporaries. He's still a superstar. I think nobody is a superstar at 70.
That's so true. He's still hanging around, people still admire him. So, Ayushmann, what can we find you doing on a day when you're not working, when you're not making music, when you're not in front of this, in front of the camera?
That's a tough one, because I'm either acting or singing or performing somewhere. I live out of a suitcase. I travel a lot. I like reading non-fiction. One of the favorite authors is William Dalrymple. and I liked reading about poetry, about Ghalib, about Rumi. I think it's just adds more dimension to me as an artist.
Any favorite places that you visited out of all the travel that you've done?
To be frank, I love India. I still love India.
Yeah?
And there's a place called Madhumilai Wildlife Sanctuary in fact, it's at the tri-junction of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu.
So the south.
Yeah, south. There's jungles where Virappan used to live earlier. They're the most beautiful part of the country, I think.
Wow. Now, I have to ask you this because you're so multi-talented. If you weren't in this industry, what else do you think you'd find yourself doing?
I think this industry is so vast. I started as a theatre person, then did radio. I would have been doing radio maybe, would have been doing theatre, or would have continued with television, or maybe would have learned more music. I still regret I didn't pursue with the learning. I think training is very important. Or maybe I would have been a journalist. I studied journalism in mass communication. Yeah, would have been a patrakar hota.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Now, do you have family that's in the industry?
No.
No, right?
Nobody.
So, I mean, I think it's pretty interesting to see you're competing in a business that has got so many people who've got mom and dad or grandfather coming in. Do you feel that is more challenging for you?
I'll tell you a very interesting story. My dad's an astrologer. And
Cool.
I was thinking after completing journalism, I was thinking of taking sabbatical for 2 months and working on my body, on my acting skills, and doing horse riding, stunts and everything. And then eventually going to Bombay after 3-4 months of training. And my dad was like, no way. He pushed me out of my place. It was literally the other way around.
Wow.
Yeah, normally all the actors, they elope or they just run away from their place and they go to Bombay from small towns. I was thrown out of my place.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And
with no support, basically.
With no support, I didn't know anybody. I was staying illegally in a hostel in Bombay. My friend was doing MBBS from there. And yeah, it all happened. In fact, yeah, God was really kind. I did not struggle that much. I think we are like blocks that we are just put in the right place. I think life is like musical chairs. When the music stops, the chair should be right there.
Right.
It just happened to me. Yeah.
Well, I'd say a lot of talent and luck too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What's next on the plates for you that we can look out for?
Just completed my film with Sonam Kapoor and Rishi Kapoor. It's called Bewakoofiyan with Yash Raj Films, and it's coming out in March.
Oh, spring.
Yes.
Is it a spring fling kind of film?
It is a rom-com. This is my first rom-com. So yeah, I really want to do all the conventional stuff as well.
Right. Oh, that'll be really nice too. Anything else you want to share with us while you're hanging out here in Los Angeles?
That's about it. I'm just venturing out tonight. I've taken one more day off, so let's see how it goes. And I'm very excited that I'm in Bollywood right now. I'm sorry. I'm very excited I'm in Hollywood right now. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure talking to you.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
ProTech Carpet Tile and Care provides professional cleaning services for carpet, tile, grout, upholstery, and fine area rugs.
ProTech technicians are professionally trained and certified cleaning and restoration experts.
We specialize in restoring damage caused by heavy soil and odor.
We can remove challenging spots such as coffee, tea, ink, gum, wine, and many more.
We have saved our customers thousands of dollars on new flooring and furniture expenses with our advanced cleaning processes.
Call for a free estimate at 562-447-4300 and visit us on our website, www.myprotechsite.com.
Hey, this is Joe Perez, owner at ProTech. Just reminding you that ProTech Carpet and Tile Care is your professional choice.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
A michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what will make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we could call.
We can call their drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
The Share Foundation is the health division of the Coy Chiropractic Institute, a 501c3 509A2 public nonprofit organization dedicated to the growth and development of the natural health care services, in particular through the chiropractic profession, offering health services at the Share clinics in the greater Los Angeles area. Your donations can help in expanding these facilities across the nation, research programs, and public education, thus offering a solution to the many of the health challenges we face. Your donations are tax-deductible and can be sent through our website at www.sharefoundation.com. That's www.cherfoundation.com by clicking on the donation button. Thank you.
Happy Thursday evening. Welcome back to the Rant Radio Network. You're
That's
listening
right.
to TinselTown Talkies. That's Rosh over there.
And that's Pimo.
Hello. And I think we have somebody stalking us.
Yes, we actually have a caller coming in. And if you were just here before the break, we were wrapping up an interview with Bollywood superstar Ayushmann Khurrana. So let's see who we've got on the line with us today. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, who are we talking to?
Hi, my name is Neetu.
Hi, Neetu. How are
Hi,
you doing
Neetu.
this evening?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. So
We're
you ready
doing-
for the holidays?
We're doing much better now that you called in.
So, Neetu, what's on your mind? Anything that we've brought up before or anything about Bollywood that we're going to talk about? Or anything about Ayushmann?
I really enjoyed Ayushmann Khurrana's interview.
Oh, well, thank you
Yeah,
so much.
He was awesome, wasn't he?
And
He sounds like such a sweetheart.
He sounds very sophisticated.
he is. And you know what's, well, he is. And what's really funny is that when you look at him, he looks like he's a 19-year-old kid. But the guy's married and actually has a child of his own that's 2 years old. So have you seen any of Ayushmann's work, or what is it about him that you are intrigued by or you like?
You know what? I actually really liked Vicky Donor.
You did?
I
Now,
did.
did-
It was really different.
Did you watch Delivery Man?
No, I haven't seen that. But you know, it was so funny because I saw Vicky Donor. I think it came out a few years ago. And then I saw, like, the promos for Delivery Man. And I was like, wait, that's so similar.
It is, right? And for the listeners who are tuned in right now, if you're not familiar with Vicky Donor, basically it's about this guy who is trying to make a living by donating sperm, but he actually gets recruited into it. It's not something he wants to do. So we see his like trials and triumphs through this entire process, and it's quite comedic.
And the irony of that, Delivery Man has a similar theme to it. And here we have an American film following up from a Bollywood film.
Yeah,
instead of vice versa.
Did it catch you by surprise that Ayushmann said he's actually donated sperm too when he was on MTV Roadies?
Caught me by
Dude, that
surprise.
was crazy. I didn't, like, you don't expect to hear that from, like, a Bollywood actor. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
He was doing research for the film.
Not at all. So, Neetu, what part of town are you calling from?
Oh, I'm in Chino Hills.
Oh, in Chino Hills. Wow. And how is it out
Yeah, I
there
know,
tonight?
Quite far from Hollywood.
Yes, it is. It is. So, any big plans for the holidays?
No, just going to be spending time with family. But, I have to also mention, I also liked your interview last week with Vivek Oberoi.
Oh.
That was very cool.
Thank you so much. Vivek is an amazing person. It was so fantastic. He too, these guys are so wonderful. They're taking the time out to talk to us while they're on set. So, and it's amazing that, Vivek had such a huge blockbuster this year. I think that it was great talking to him. Chris 3.
Yes. It's kind
nice
of
to see him coming back. But no, it was good. It was a good interview. You guys sounded like you had so much fun.
Oh, we did. And
That
Neetu,
was all her.
before you head out, any Bollywood movies that you're looking forward to this year? Or we've got a couple coming out before the end of the year.
Dude, Doom 3. Amir Khan, all the way.
We're all there. We're all
It's
there.
the year of the
That's-
trilogy in Bollywood this year.
So, yeah, we're all looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll see you at the movie theater.
Yes, and you guys, great job. I love the show.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
so much. Shout out to Neetu from Chino Hills. Thanks for calling in tonight.
Thanks, guys. Talk
Thank
to you
you.
later.
All right,
to you soon.
bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye. We have a birthday today.
Whose birthday?
Rajnikant.
Woo! Happy birthday. I can't sing.
Are you trying to be Marilyn Monroe?
No. Well, I don't think I could pass. No blondes for me and no big
He's
mall.
63 today.
63. This guy, if you are checking out our screen right now, yes, he is one of the biggest superstars in India, especially in the South. This guy is worshipped, in fact. And it is his birthday today, December 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And
Today, what an honor to have a show on his
he's
birthday.
actually received, oh, yes. Shout out to Rajnikant. We love this guy. If for those of you who aren't familiar with him, it's funny. He's actually kind of picked on and is similar, it kind of has similarities to the Chuck Norris jokes.
Yes. Yes.
And Rajnikant is really known for his acting as far as the puns he puts into his acting and the comedic timing he has. So, and this guy just plays over the top, larger than life characters. And so that's what people really, really love about him.
And he's probably, this perspective to American audience, he's probably the most popular actor in all of India.
Yes.
I mean, the most.
Yep.
This would be the equivalent of, I don't know, who would be an American equivalent? I know he gets the Chuck Norris comparison, but in terms of just popularity, I'm trying to think of an American equivalent. I don't think there's anybody who has the same kind of stature that he has.
Because this guy's like worshipped.
He is, yeah.
I don't know if this is correct, but I actually heard one time that there is a temple that is built in the South on Rajnikant.
And I'd actually put him ahead of Michael Jordan. In terms of, think of how Michael Jordan.
Popularity-wise,
Just
right?
popularity. And that goes to the temple. You don't get a temple if you're not idolized and popular.
Nope, not at all.
But this guy's got it.
And what's interesting is that they even make songs on him. There was a Bollywood film released, Chennai Express, and there's a song in there, and they call him Anna. It's a South Indian terminology, and the song is about like dancing like him and looking like him. It's fun, and he's known for those dark sunglasses. By the way, that's why a lot of times you see him with those shades on.
And since today was our awards theme,
Rajnikant his awards.
Rajnikant has won. He's been nominated for 46 awards total in his career.
Wow.
He's won 43. He's received several Filmfare awards. Filmfares are Oscar level awards. He's won his first one 84, won a couple in the past 5 years. He's won the best awards out of Tamil Nadu, which is a state in South India, for best actor. 43 total awards over the course of his career. I can't think of a Hollywood actor who's won 43 awards.
I think that's pretty huge.
It's huge.
And I believe he also won the Padma Bhushan Award or Padma Shri.
The Padma Shri, yeah. Which is the highest honor that's good. It was actually, though, you're right. It was the Padma Bhushan, which is the third highest civilian honor a person can get from
It's
the
a civilian honor, basically, doing good for the community. In fact, I read somewhere that people even tell him to join politics because of his popularity. They think he would really just rack in the votes.
I mean, he'd be to them what Ronald Reagan was over here, He'd be Ronald Reagan, Win-win for the Gipper.
Yeah. What's interesting? He actually did a film with the world's most beautiful woman in the world, Aishwarya Rai.
Yeah, and
that film was crazy.
It was so over the top.
Can
you
we
had
ring
to
the
love
name
it.
of that film?
It was Endiran, or Robot.
Yes.
Yes. What was cool about that film? It was actually the technical side of it was a Hollywood studio.
Yes, it was very cutting edge,
Yeah.
technicality
It was considered
wise.
the most advanced looking film ever produced in India.
Right.
Because he had a Hollywood studio
But
backing
the story was just crazy. I mean, it was about.
Well, it
this,
was about this guy who's played by Rajnikant, who is a scientist, who created a robot, and the robot just took a personality of his own.
Right. It's
And-
almost like he obtained these humanistic characteristics and.
Yeah, well, he gave at the well, as you know, in any Indian film, there's a cliffhanger in the middle of the film when they have intermission. The cliffhanger was this: the robot had emotions.
Yeah.
The robot learned how to have emotions.
I had a hard time sitting through that.
And the whole second half, he's like angry because I don't get to have my woman with me.
I
It's
know.
like,
But you know
come
what?
on.
They loved him in India.
That film was very high
What's
grossing.
funny is all his films are hits.
Yes.
And now, if you actually Google him too, Rajnikant, now they actually have apps and jokes on the internet similar to Chuck Norris's.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
And he had that one great commercial with it was an Expedia commercial.
What
it was
happens in there?
Huh?
What happens in there?
Well, this is where it's funny. It starts off. It's an animated commercial, and it starts off with this. It's on a tropical island, and you see this couple on a boat in the ocean. They're about to propose or something, and then the boat starts going up and down, and it's Chuck Norris at the top of the world doing push-ups with a finger.
Actually, it has Chuck Norris and
And then
Rajnikant in the
when
same
he's doing his
commercial.
push-ups, something falls from a tree and lands on Chuck Norris's head. And then the rest of the commercials are going back and forth, like trying to outdo each other. You know, like it's just hilarious. It's like doing all these crazy, like throwing tornadoes at each other, and they run and they hit and they bounce off and they end up on the other side of the world because they're so strong. And just, you know,
It was funny.
Yeah.
But that's how big this guy is.
Yeah, yeah,
And
you
I
know.
think what's interesting too, he started his career in 1975.
Yeah, 75. So he's actually been acting longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1975 was, and I was born in 76. So, 75 was the beginning of his career. There we go. 75 to 77 when he started. He is considered the first superhero, like hero at a time. Not like comic superhero, but just like the first filmy hero
Right.
to come out of South India.
Oh,
So,
that's interesting.
very,
Well, I
very,
can see that. I can see why now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Well,
he's
yeah,
had a
yeah.
huge following.
Exactly.
But again, I think what's interesting to notice with his films, they're wacky, they're quacky, they're
Mhm.
out there, but people, that's what they love about him, and
Right.
they don't expect seriousness from him.
Right.
And even like his puns, it's like those are Rajnikant jokes and puns,
Right.
and only he can do them.
Right. I want to switch gears. You mentioned quirks and punks, and we'll try to finish with this. You watched R.J. Mitty recently, the
Secret Life
of
of-
R.J. Mitty, and that film to me has a very Bollywood feel to it. What are your thoughts on the film?
Yes, I did attend a screening for it. You know, it was interesting because I definitely think it's a family movie, which they try to make some of the Bollywood films, which they aren't anymore. But it's got this whole fantasy element to it,
Right.
and it's got this whole dream sequence, and it's got this like nice little message at the end with a happy ending. So I felt like that was all very Bollywoodish. I think it's a fun holiday film. I went with some friends and my husband, and there were mixed reviews. Some people, I don't know. One of them kind of was like, "Well, it's okay." I've had a hard time sitting through the second half of the film.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I enjoyed it. It was a nice, just happy moment, and it was a fun film. It's about fighting in this corporate world for jobs and all this stuff, and not really pursuing our dreams and being happy. And we're just caught up in all this rush life that we just don't take a moment to enjoy and smell the flowers. And I think so. The message is beautiful,
Nice.
but definitely has Ben Stiller doing all these different things, and
Right.
I actually could picture like a Shah Rukh Khan or
Yeah.
a Bollywood actor in a
I
film
can see
like
that too. Yeah. So we're almost out of time.
Yes, we barely have 30 seconds.
I do want to finish a couple of quick things. Tomorrow at LA City Hall, we're doing a quick honor of
Yes,
the 100
LA
years.
City Hall is recognizing 100 years of Indian cinema. It's a huge thing for the South Asian community. It's the first time it's been done.
Yes.
And we have the pleasure of having Gyan Korea, who is the director of The Good Road,
Mhm.
India's Oscar submission.
Mhm.
So let's see how that does.
And also a quick shout out to Samrat Chakrabarti, who's going to be on Blue Buds tomorrow night.
Yes, he's a
10
fellow
p.m.
friend and
Yes.
actor. And
Blue Bug has Mark Wahlberg in it, I believe.
yes, and it's going to be interesting to see him play a Sikh man.
Yes, he's got a
with
beard
a
and
turban
everything.
and
Yes.
a beard. So
Yes.
thank you guys for listening to TinselTown Talkies. We're about out of time. Well, we are out of time, but after us is Culinary Trends. And guess what? They're going to teach you some cool holiday tricks. So join in on all the fun.
Enjoy the food, and thanks for tuning in.
From Pimo and Rasha.
All right, good night. Bye.